The best script to be able to sell high ticket coaching should fit on an index card. If you guys see here, I've got a handful of things here. I'm going to walk you through step by step the exact process I followed for the last 3 years to be the top closer in the organization I was working with selling $100,000 coaching packages. And just to let you guys know, by the way, I've never, in the last 6 years of selling, I have never once had a script on paper written out. At one point, I would handwrite my script, and once I had handwritten it, I would then convert it into one of these index cards. And the cool thing about this index card, by the way, is no matter what your coaching offer is, you can follow this exact process for selling it. If it's $5,000, if it's 25, if it's 100, if it's a million, every single sales process follows these 9 things. And the greatest part of this process is it removes all of the objections before you even get to the close. So if you guys hate objections like all salespeople do, and you hate when they come up when you're asking people to pay you, pay close attention to this video, because what I'm going to cover with you guys today not only will allow you to get all of the information you need to be able to know what product to pitch and how to pitch it, you'll also be able to get all of the objections out of the way. And for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jeremy Sandell. I've been in sales for over 15 years. I've done over $20 million in sales, probably closer to over 25 million at this point. And a big chunk of that has been selling $100,000 coaching offers for a guy named Ty Lopez. And some of what I'm going to share with you guys, I discovered as a result of hating sales and trying to figure out how to make it less annoying and boring and just frustrating. And some of it is going to be things I learned as a result of just trying stuff out on calls and finding that it worked really well regardless of who I was talking to. So, number one, the most important thing to get right on a sales call is the opening line. How many of you guys have gotten a sales call like this? Hey John, this is Joe at XYZ Company. The reason for my call today is I saw that you had filled out a form about our ABC product. What made you decide to fill it out? That doesn't work. And it does a lot of really terrible things to your sales process. Number one being it immediately conveys to the person on the other line that you're just another sales schmuck who has some product they're going to try and shove down their throat. A better way of doing this is to say, hey, I saw you reached out about XYZ product. Can you tell me what you're looking for? And I'll see if I can help out. And the reason why that's important is because you're putting yourself in position to be the person that is giving them something. And if you look at the origin of the word sell or to sell, it actually means to give something or hand something to somebody. So it's really important that you position yourself from the get-go as the person that is there to make that other person's life better. And it does something very clever. By saying, I'll see if I can help, you're indicating to them that there are some people who you can't help. Which is true, right? There are some people, no matter what your product or service is, it's not going to be a good fit for them. And so you're in a very sneaky way just saying, hey, look, no pressure, man. We're just talking. We're just having a conversation. Now, a key point to understand with regards to using this opener correctly is you have to mute your phone. You guys would be shocked how much stuff people will tell you that they didn't intend to say if you'll just be quiet long enough to let them finish talking. And a second key point on this is when they stop talking and they say, hey, hello, are you still there? Unmute yourself and say, yeah, what you're saying was interesting. I'm still here. I'm just listening. Go ahead. And then mute yourself again and they'll continue to talk. Sometimes they'll stop, but most of the time they'll continue to talk. So you have to get the opener right. Now, the second thing is, you need to understand what their current situation is. What's going on in their world? Now, they might have filled out a form. They might have said, oh, I've got this kind of business and we're having this issue. You want to hear them say it with their own words because they're going to color a black and white picture that you have. The black and white picture is whatever they put on the form. they're going to color that in for you. They're going to add details that will help you to position your product as a solution at the end of the call. So you really need to understand what's going on. Are they having marketing issues? Are they having hiring issues? Are they having issues raising capital? Like, you really want to understand and be open to asking them other questions. If they say, yeah, we've really been struggling with raising capital, say, well, how are you guys currently raising capital? That's a good follow-up question, right? It's a pretty, sensical thing to ask. And they might say, oh, well, we've just been reaching out to friends and family. Oh, got it. So, like, did you guys run out of friends and family? And they might say, yeah, we did. You say, okay, well, what's the plan moving forward? Well, that's why we reached out. We really don't know what to do. So now you've got a conversation going. You've got an idea of like what the obstacle is that they're running into. And then the third thing is you need to know what their goal is. Where are they trying to go in the next 12 to 18 months? A good way of framing that question, by the way, is exactly like that. Hey, what's the goal here? What are you guys trying to accomplish in the next 12 to 18 months? Like, if everything goes right, what does that look like? Now notice, I'm not asking them, how much more money do you guys want to make? I'm asking very open-ended questions. A key to being very successful in sales is to know when to ask open-ended questions and to know when to ask closed-ended questions, like yes or no, or specific dollar amounts, or 1 or 2 word answers. At the beginning of the call, it should all be open-ended, and you should ask people in a way that gets them to start visualizing where they want to go. Now, the third thing is, and this should be done, by the way, in the first couple of minutes of the call, is, hey, did you have a partner, or is your husband or wife going to hop on the call? And the reason you ask it that way is because you want to know, do they have a partner? And if they do, are they jumping on the call? If they're not jumping on the call, say, hey, can you bring them on the call real quick? I want to make sure that you're not playing telephone. And also, there's going to be questions that are going to come up when I go over a couple of things that will really help you guys out. And if they can't, don't keep talking to them. Get off the phone. You're gonna get to the end of the sales call, and they're going to say, well, let me talk to my partner. And you're going to be following up for the rest of your life. So in the first couple minutes, before you even get into their current situation and their goals, just pop the question about their partner. If they don't have one, great, you can continue on. Next thing, if they have goals and they haven't achieved them yet, you got to know, what are the challenges? What are the obstacles? What are the blockers? What are the road bumps or speed bumps? What are the walls? What are the things that are already keeping you guys from achieving this? What's been the problem, with regards to doing this faster? And I like to ask that question, by the way, you guys. I like to ask it multiple ways all at once. If you guys notice, I said, well, what's the big blocker here? Like, what do you feel like is slowing you guys down? Like, what's keeping you from achieving the goal faster? Like, what do you feel like is stopping you? And I say it multiple ways because if you guys study neurolinguistic programming, people all process things different. Some people are significantly more kinesthetic. They feel things out. They have to get their hands around it. Some people are more auditory. They've kind of heard a lot of ideas, and some things ring a bell and some things don't. And a lot of people are very visual. They have to imagine themselves in this situation. I could see if we did this, we would get this result, and I think it'd be a beautiful thing. So you want to use some of these tools from stuff like NLP very strategically when you're talking about goals and when it comes to challenges, because it allows the person on the other end of the phone or on the other side of the Google Meet or Zoom, it allows them to process in a way that makes sense for them, but, and this is really key, it gives them permission to speak in the processing mode that's most comfortable for them. So if you ask them multiple ways, they might start saying, well, if we could really get a handle on this, I feel like we could just, grab the bull by the horns and take off. Now you're thinking in the back of your head, okay, this person's really kinesthetic. They just used 3 kinesthetic words all in one sentence. Now, after you've gotten the challenge, it's super important that you don't just accept the answer the way it is. If you don't probe deeper when it comes to the obstacles keeping people from accomplishing their dreams, achieving their goals, if you don't dig deeper, the pain will not be deep enough that the price feels like it's not a big deal. And this is where a lot of salespeople get screwed up. Now, really quick, you guys, if you haven't done so yet, do yourself a favor. Do me a favor, by the way, too. Subscribe to the channel, click the thumbs up button, hit the little bell icon over here. It allows you to get notified when I post new videos. But just getting back to this, here's the thing. The more pain they have, the less expensive your offer is going to seem. And so when you ask about the challenge, make sure that you ask other questions. If somebody says, well, we've been struggling to raise capital, and I might say, okay, well, what have you guys been doing? And they say, well, we, basically raised from people we knew. Okay, well, how much did you guys raise? Well, we've raised $500,000 so far. Okay. What do you guys have that bookmarked for? What are you guys using the capital for right now? Like how long is that going to last? What's your kind of run rate on that? And then they might explain more. And then I might say to them, I say, okay, well, how are you guys going to get more capital? And if they say, well, we don't know, say, okay, well, raising capital from strangers takes time. Even if you've got an amazing product, it's just crazy appealing, it might take 3 to 6 months. Do you guys have enough capital to get through the next 3 to 6 months if you had the right strategy? And they might say, well, we do, but we don't have the right strategy. Now, in my mind, I'm like, okay, they need somebody who can help them to understand how to market to investors, how to get in front of family offices, how to get in front of VCs, how to prepare themselves that when they go to these people, they're not giving away their whole company just to get some money to build the thing. So you want to dig deep on the challenge section, and then at about the 8-minute mark of your call, and this is super important to understand, you should use a stopwatch. I did this for a year straight. It completely changed my life in terms of how much money I was able to close, how much money I made myself. Use a stopwatch and do not ask these 3 questions until you've already spent at least 8 minutes talking to the person. And the key, by the way, the secret to asking these 3 questions is to do them very quickly. You do not want people to think when you say, well, what's gross revenue right now? And they'll say, oh, we're doing about this much. Got it. And what is net? How much do you guys keep out of that? Okay. And they say the answer. And then you say, okay, what do you guys keep, like liquid cash, like in the business bank account to be able to fund this thing, to be able to grow it? And the reason you want to say it fast is because you don't want to be so slow that they start thinking about, oh my God, this guy's trying to get my money. You want it to feel as if you're still just talking about all the stuff that everybody's working to get done. So you get those 3 questions out of the way, and then the final piece, and this is something, by the way, just to be fair to you guys, I learned this from Ty Lopez. It's a great question. I still use it on every sales call I do to this day. If I had a magic wand and I could solve one specific problem in the business and that would unlock you guys to accomplish more of your goals and do it faster, what is the one thing you would want me to wave that magic wand over? Now, the reason you don't ask this right after you're asking about the challenges is because when they say the challenge, in their head, they're giving you their top of mind answer. Once you've talked to them about like the depth of the problem, the depth of the obstacles, everything else, and then you've talked about revenue, you hit them with that question about the magic wand, because what happens is you'll oftentimes get a different answer to the magic wand question than you did to the like, what's the main obstacle question. And both of those are going to be useful because now you have 2 different things you can reference back to when you're actually pitching the client at the end of the call. And this is super key, you guys. Anybody can use this exact process. If you have a coaching offer, you could literally go through these 9 things and close way more deals. And the reason why this is so effective is because there's no wasted time. There's no fake rapport building. If you notice, I didn't ask them what part of the world they're in or what's the weather like or did they catch the football game. There's none of that, and it shows people that you are a professional, and because of the way it's structured, it feels like every question makes sense. By the way, if you guys noticed, I don't have multiple pages in front of me. I don't have to reference back. because I just know, hey, I've got to get these 9 things. If I can get those 9 things and this person is a good fit for a product or service that I offer, I will know within 12 minutes whether or not they're going to buy. And to be completely frank with you guys, I'll know exactly how much money they're willing to spend before they even tell me, because I know how much money they have. And if you guys are looking to really level up your sales game, I would highly recommend, number one, make sure to subscribe to the channel. But number two, there's a link in the description below. Go join my free school community. Okay, I talk to you guys about this stuff every single day in there. And there's a lot of stuff that I'll work with you guys on our live calls that I'm not going to be able to do here because I'm not live on YouTube right now. This is a recorded video. So, like, go get in there. Everybody that's in there, they're all badass business owners and badass closers doing $10, $50, $100,000 plus deals. You want to get yourself into a circle of people who are operating at the highest level. Sometimes it's not even the things they say. It's just the attitude and mentality. When you get in a group like that, it completely changes the way you approach your own life. And you'll notice that you come across more confident on your calls, and it's just like, it just rubs off on you. So if you guys are interested, like I said, you can go join it. It's completely free. It's called Stealth Closer School. And I hope that this has been helpful for you guys. Leave a comment down below if you have a question. I answer all those myself. My assistant cannot help you because she doesn't know this stuff. I answer all those myself. So leave a comment, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.